Hello and welcome to my more important analysis videos on Monday 23rd of July with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got an interesting sort of slip in market sentiment today. We had that move that came through on Friday whereby the dollar just started to lose a bit of ground, but that's just unwound a touch today. And that dollar lost ground on the back of just comments, rather concerning comments actually, about the Federal Reserve monetary policy from Donald Trump, sort of wading in and sort of questioning, I suppose, inadvertently or advertently, the independence of the Federal Reserve, but also sort of talking about currency manipulation. And now he's sort of coming out and using very belligerent language as well with regards to, or rhetoric with regards to Iran as well, and subsequently we've seen the markets taking a little bit of an aversion to that. The S&P 500 just sort of fell away into the close on Friday. Futures a shade lower today, nothing too drastic, but equities in the European session have also sort of drifted lower. They were well, they're better than they were, but they are still lower today. And it's interesting that we've seen this the dollar just sort of coming under a little bit of pressure, although it's bounced a little bit in the last sort of hour or so, sort of regaining some of the lost ground. But this is a key move nonetheless now that we need to keep an eye on. So what we have is just general slight sort of I mean, there is sort of mostly the yen strength coming through today. That's not only the safe haven factor, but there's also question marks over about how the Bank of Japan are going to move forward and possibility of a move away from its ultra easy monetary policy. Subsequently, the yen has strengthened. It's pretty much the key outperformer of the day. And I'll talk you through the yen chart later. But certainly, we have seen dollar yen sharply lower, actually, as Japanese JGB yields have pulled higher. So what we have is just general equity markets weakness. Bit of dollar actually regaining some ground actually, but the gold price interestingly lower with the stronger dollar. Oil is higher with the sorry, that's not oil. Oil is higher with the supportive aspects of the tweet about Iran from Donald Trump. So yeah, it's all sort of fairly contained though in terms of market direction. So in terms of data points today, we've again got a quiet little open to the week. Existing home sales for the States at 3 o'clock, expected to tick very slightly higher to 5.44. Also consumer confidence for the Eurozone minus 0.7, so back decisively below 0 there. Now my chart today is Brent Crude, because I have been sort of looking at oil charts recently, and you sort of see a little bit of an interesting sort of technical move on Brent Crude that has come with the breaking of this uptrend. We've seen that in the last couple of years, last couple of months, a sell-off, couple of weeks, a sell-off in the oil price back towards 72.40, which is a top pattern neckline, but also 71.30, which is the old key breakout. And it sort of formed support around this range in the last week or so, and it has actually started to tick higher again. But I'm sort of worried about the fact that you look at the momentum indicators, MACD lines are more negatively configured than they've been for a while. RSI picking up off 40, but certainly no longer strongly configured. And we have just picked up in the early moves today towards that 73.80 level, which was last week's high. But I'm just sort of looking at this, and having broken that uptrend, you sort of become a little bit more concerned about this turning into a big top pattern. Now, I think until you break above the 75.95 level, which is that reaction high a couple of weeks ago, I don't think you really sort of can dismiss the prospects of a top pattern, and that would be the concern. Yes, you've had a tick higher today, but unless you sort of break through that mini rally high of 75.95, I don't think you can really discount the prospect of this sort of still topping out. So I'd be looking at the momentum indicators for that move. RSI, for example, sort of if that started to roll over around the 50 level, that would be a concern. And yeah, you've had this little tick higher, but can it really be sustained is the question. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading, and just re-emphasise that 71.30 is their key support on Brent Crude. So I will speak to you later.